Thank you very much.
Mr. Babatunde Afolabi obtained a Bachelor of Degree in Accounting and MSc in Business Administration from the Lagos State University and currently rounding up his doctorate PhD from Lagos State University. In 2007, he was engaged as a consultant project accountant under the then World Bank project, Lagos Metropolitan Development Governance Project, LMDGP. Mr. Babatunde Afolabi has been consulting for the World Bank and other donor-funded agencies like French Development Bank, African Development Bank in the last 10 years. He has successfully participated at both design and implementation level of projects across the country. He is currently consulting for World Bank and French Development Bank on 4 projects across the country. He is happily married to Okwe Oluwa Afolabi, and they are blessed with 3 children. With Jesus' joy, let us make welcome as we receive Mr. Babatunde Afolabi.
Shall we have a seat? Shall we pray? In Jesus' name, in the mighty name of Jesus, our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for a moment like this. We thank you for this good opportunity. Father, I come to you again this morning. I confess my weakness to you. Father, take charge of this day and speak to your people. Thank you, Jesus, for in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here again. Yeah, good to see everyone. I'm excited to be here again. The last 6-7 months, I think this should be my 3rd time of coming here. And I'm happy again to be here. I'm excited to be here. We're looking at personal financial management. For those that are familiar with me, I like to do some assumptions. I want to run some caveats. This class is meant for some categories of people. Number 1, those people who believe that they are not disadvantaged as a Nigerian. You must have that consciousness that I am not disadvantaged. You are not one of those people that believe that good things is meant for some special people. Then number 2, it is assumed that you all believed that this land is full of opportunities. It's full of opportunities left, right, and you are not limited. And number 3, you're ready to be intentional and deliberate. There's absolutely nothing you can achieve in life without being intentional, without being deliberate. So it's important we start with that. Those 3 assumptions. You must be ready. You make up your mind that whatever we learn here today, I will be intentional. Now, let me go to the scope of the class. The whole objective is to take charge of your finance. Forget about all the grammar. Taking charge of your finance. That is the whole idea. For you to take charge of your finance is a very critical thing that we all must do. There are patterns in life. It is important to note that we all come from different backgrounds, and the way God is going to deal with everybody is in a different way. So it's important to understand that the little seed you have, the little money you have, can be what you need to turn things around for you. So I will try to look at it from 2 critical points. From the area of earnings. From the area of, because if you don't earn money, you can't save. You can't take charge of your finances. I will also look at it from the area of budgeting. Peradventure, you've been you've not been taking charge of your finances. So we'll look at it from those 2 angles. So let's go to the slide 1. Now, personal finance is a term that covers managing your money as well as savings and investment. It is about meeting your financial goals. These goals could be having enough for short-term financial needs and planning for long-term financial needs like retirement. Personal finance is all about meeting your short-term and your long-term needs. Your short-term needs are the basic things you do every day. Your long-term needs is planning for the future. The next slide. Now, why don't you save? I need to want us to engage on that. You find out that it's not easy to save, and it's not easy to take charge of your finances, because money is like wings. It doesn't want to be tamed. So the question is that you don't save, you don't keep money down. It may not be your fault. Let's look at the root cause. The number one thing is personality trait. You must understand it yourself. I did a study last year that has been published in one international journal about how personality traits affect the way people behave, affect the way people run business. It may not be your fault. You may be like me, that I'm a spendthrift. I can't keep cash. Very generous people find it very hard to save, to keep money. So you must get to that point that you understand that man is created to possess different qualities, skills, and characteristics. This feature distinct one individual from the other, and thus the bedrock of personality trait, which determine your propensity to save. I have a wife that she doesn't find it difficult to save. When she gets money, she knows how to keep it. That is her personality. And for every personality, it comes with blessing. So you must first understand, why am I not saving? Why am I not taking charge of my finances? It could be as a result of your personality traits. The other thing is cultural considerations, perceptions, and value system. You know, more often than not, we generally believe that small seeds are not meant to be tamed. You know, there's this perception in the land that I'm still waiting for that abundance. I'm waiting for that mega deal. And at the end of the day, you find out that, because I tell people, you can't know how God wants to deal with you. And I've seen people that they grow small seeds and they become extremely successful. I've seen people that start in an organization, very small organizations, and they grow, and they become extremely successful. I've seen people that inherit funds and become big. Some eat mega deal. You don't know what your own will be. So that little money, who told you that that is not all your answers people have been expecting? Cultural perceptions. Every money you earn can be saved. Like I keep saying, it's all about finding your level. It's all about contentment and finding your level. Comfort in life is also relative. Education, the things we spend money on, is also relative. Someone might use a 1.5 million naira phone, and someone is using a 300,000 naira phone. It is relative. It is your perceptions. So for every money you make, you can actually save and knock it down. So cultural perceptions, if you are the type that, and you know we fall into that trap easily, that I'm still expecting that mega deal. The last program we had here, our daddy in the house said, he has an attitude that anytime he has money, he keeps asking himself, is this money meant to take care of me during my drought? Is a drought coming? Do you know that there are 3 categories of people in this world, including you and I? Some are born great. Like you can't take it away from them. They are just born great. And a perfect example of that is a former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. He is born great. He got everything on a platter of gold. He ended the Civil War. When the Civil War was almost ending, the then President General Gowon had issue with the General Benjamin Adekunle. They asked him to come and end Civil War. 2 times he became president without, they were begging him. He was born great. Now, there are some greatness is entrusted into their hands. The children of Aliko Dangote, by default, they will be very great. They may be very great. They've entrusted greatness into their hands. The last category, those that achieve greatness. I'm going to give you a perfect example of that. A prominent late figure, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. He failed mathematics. He failed English. He comes from a very poor background. He wrote a book and said, he told himself that by 40, if he doesn't have opportunity of going to UK to study law, he would give up on it. He wrote letters to a lot of people. There was no help. He didn't know mathematics. He didn't know physics. But at the time in it, he went to UK by ship. And he came back. He became a very great man. That the late Odumi Goju could describe him as the greatest Nigerian that ever lived. He achieved greatness. My dear brothers and sisters, what categories do you belong to? Before you start wasting the little resources due to your wrong cultural perceptions, you must understand that. Don't joke with that little job. Now, the third thing is earnings power. If you don't make money, you cannot save. So it is important when you tell people to save, take charge of their financial. What are you earning? What is your earning power? It is meant for people that are earning. If you are not working, you don't have a job. It will be like you're speaking grammar, telling you to take charge of it because you're not earning money. Your ability to earn and earn well is proportionally related to your ability to save. Earning power is the ability of a person or organization to make money. It can also be an ability to generate profitable activities. I will not be ignorant of the fact that inflation is biting hard, consumable income is shrinking, savings are shrinking, but irrespective, like I said the last time I came here, economic disruptions is ongoing. At every time the world experiences things like this, at the end of this, it will be an emerging boom. You know, it's like when you have a setup and they scattered everything. You now try to rearrange it all over again. In rearranging it, opportunities abound. So if you don't earn money, you cannot save. The next one, lack of financial goals. A financial goals is a SMART objective. SMART as in must be specific, measurable, responsive and time-bound. Accurate, responsive and time-bound. Why people don't save? It's because you have no financial goals. Because you have no financial goals, so you can't save. Because if you don't know what to, you don't make a plan. Your financial goals could either be long-term or short-term. If you don't have a plan that this year, for someone who earns very little, this year, I want to go into fashion, I want to buy a machine. That is a financial goal. And consciously, every time you have little money, you keep keeping money towards that. Interestingly, I tell people, you may not even save up to what you need. But by the time you have 40%, I found something in life that, and it has worked for me, and I've seen it work for a lot of people. At any time you make effort, God always show up. And that's why there's an adage in Yoruba that says, Eleru lo ma gbe nibi to wuwo, that it is the owner of the luggage that will carry it at the heaviest point. You can't live your life not making any effort on it, and you think support can never come. It can never come. So you have to make up a man start first. You must have a financial goal. Even though I don't make much, I hope that with this my little money, I will buy a machine. I will start sewing. I will make more. Then I can start planning for the financial goals. So no matter what you earn, if you have no financial goals, you can never save. Earn big. Let big money come to you. And I'm talking from experience because that is me. That is me. I don't I'm everywhere. You understand? I need to talk to myself to have financial goals. So when you get rid of money, you quickly divert it there because I know I can't keep money down. So people don't save. People don't take charge of their personal finance because they have no financial goal. There's a study that every 10 people, 8 don't have financial goal. We live life to chances. This money is small. The bigger one is coming. I'm going to blow. The mega deal is coming. And you know, religions have a way of giving hope to us that you believe that that bigger thing is coming. Without realizing it that, my brother, the one in your hand is enough to power you to greatness. Next slide, please. Developing a sound earnings power. I'm more particular about this because if you don't make enough money, you can't save. You can't take charge of your finances. So now, for peradventure, you've not been doing well. You don't have financial goals, and you have accumulated unnecessary bills, unnecessary lifestyle, that cannot make you to have financial stability, then these are the things you need to do. You need to upskill. Peradventure, you're still a young person. You're just growing. It's important to understand that ab initio, start your life with having financial goals. Now, upskill, acquire new skills, invest your time in self-development that can make you more valuable to your clients, employer, and people around you. I am of a very strong opinion that everyone seated there can actually earn more. With the current global market environment, with the digital world, you can actually earn more. How can you earn more? You can upskill. You can develop your skills. That is one way. You can get more certifications. I want to do a story about the lady that just won the Grammy Thames, that as of 2017, she was a regular insurance marketer. 2018, she did a self-training about music production on YouTube. Like, she didn't go to any regular school. On YouTube, she developed herself on music production. 5 years later, a Grammy Award winner. That demonstrates to you the power of self-growth. And you know, it's so easy now. There's no training you want to do that you can't get on YouTube. There's no skills you want to get that you can't get it almost for free. All you need to do is to look at where you are at the moment. How do I develop the current skills that I have? How do I improve in my place of work to improve that when they are picking people for promotion? Like in my office, business that I run, if you are good, we will keep you. We want you to grow. If you are an asset, in fact, I find out that I have some engineers working with us that they could be very troublesome. Like very troublesome. But because these guys have the skills that I need, I know that if you mess up with them, you probably run yourself back. To just oppose the fact that when you develop yourself, people will look for you, even where you are working. Now start a side hustle. Explore freelance work or entrepreneurship to supplement your income. Everybody can do freelance. I sell cars. I have a car spot. I'm a trained task consultant. I do a lot of things apart from my primary job. In this modern day world, everybody should engage in freelance activities. Everybody. In fact, there are people with goods that they want to sell. They don't need to employ you properly. Tell them I can help you sell it. You market it online. You market it to your friends. Everybody here, make up your mind. I'm going to increase my earnings power by engaging in freelance activities. You can sell. There are people selling gym products, selling electronics, selling insurance. I know of someone without a job for like 8 years. He saw me, I think September, October last year, and I told me that today, guy, that things have improved though. He has just been suffering. He didn't know. That someone introduced him to Leadway Insurance, freelance marketing. And he said that after 6 months, interestingly, he doesn't know that there are people around him that need the product he was selling. Sitting in his house, he was making money. So you can imagine you're working where you are and you are doing freelance marketing. And gone are those days when marketing, you need to be going out. You sit down in the comfort of your bedroom, you're marketing. So I want to encourage everybody. You can actually expand your cost, improve your earnings, so you can take charge more of your financial capacity by engaging in freelance side also. Then investing in service. This is also very key. If God help you, you have access to good people around you that are far more than you. I want to beg you, serve them. I have very senior personality in this country that I do things for them for free. I make myself available. That sometimes I leave my job to do things for them. Number one, you're learning. And number two, it pays at the end of the day. So I want to also encourage us, let us identify and engage in service. Next slide. Now, key points to developing a savings culture. Number one is set financial goals. In layman terms, is telling yourself, this is what I want to do when I have money. You know, life is all about dreams, aspiration. But we need money to drive the aspirations. So you must set financial goals. A short-term financial goal can go between 0 to 1 year. So even as you are working, if you have never done it before, just take a pause. Disrupt your ecosystem. and start again. In the next 1 year, what do I need to do? I need to pay school fees. I need to pay house rent. I need to buy groceries. I need to pay bills. Those are your financial goals. You know, when you set up your financial goals, you put it side by side what you earn. You realize that this is why you're running into debt. But we don't do it. As accountants, we believe that figures speak. It doesn't keep quiet. It speaks loud. When you live your life to chance, you collect salary as they come. Make I pay this. Take this. You make money, pay this. You will run into problem. And you will never make anything out of life. You may never make anything out of life. So set up your goal. Short-term goal. Mid-term goal, 1 to 5 years. The learner, the freebies, they start with just the short-term goals. But when you take a step higher, you look into the future. Oh boy, I'm not making so much. In the next 5 years, where do you want your son to be? What do you even want to do? How do I improve on my income? What can I do? And you know, interestingly, time also have wings. It's used to speed by like birds. President Muhammadu Buhari desperately wanted to be president of Nigeria. He has spent his 8 years. He has gone. This current president too, time we all watched TV a few days ago, Babangida. He has spent his time. He has gone. I pray that time will not catch up with any one of us. Time will not catch up with any one of us. You need to start thinking. 5 years is not far away. It is, and you belong to a great cathedral. All you need to do is to develop those goals. Where do I want to be in the next 1 to 5 years? You know, we are talking about taking charge of your finances. These are the things that will drive their prerequisite to good savings culture. Because you already know that in the next 5 years, I intend to buy this. I intend to have a side hustle that can do this, that can grow like this, that can grow like this. I intend to get this training, even though I don't have the money. Let me be saving little by little. Then the long-term goals, 5 years and above, for the big-hearted. That in the next 10 years, where do you want to be? I'm sure if I ask everybody, if we just pass a simple questionnaire around, tell me, do you have any, like beyond wishes, beyond ordinary wishes of, I want to blow, I want to live my dream house, I want to drive my dream car. Those are not goals. Like, where do I see myself? And it has to start from your source. So you must, it's important. If you don't do it, you can't save. I'm telling you from experience. You must have a financial goal. Now, create a budget and track your expenses. Some of these things are not exhaustive. Like I said, we talk about the personality trait. You must understand yourself. Do what works for you. Like me, I know I'm a bit restless. So I know myself that I'm a bit restless. I know I'm a party freak. I know I'm a social freak. I know I'm everywhere. I know that even when I drop a budget, the possibility of not sticking to it is also high. So I don't want to be too academic. So I devise a means. I set financial goals. I set financial goals and I like encourage myself. So when it comes, that was what led me to selling cars. So I order it for myself from the US. When I have some loose cars in the account, go to IWA, buy the car. I don't choke basically there. I know I will clear it. I know I will pay for free. So even if money comes, I'll be sensible enough to know that I'm already committed. That is my own tactics. Yours may be different. That is my own tactics. So you must understand that you need to devise it. You understand? Some, maybe you can create a budget and you can be like my dad. That if I call my dad, he will tell you the budget he did 25 years ago. He has a book for it. I also used to write things down. What may I do is after spending, I start pressing calculator. Chai, how did things go? I was writing out. When I write out, I see, wow, I spent a lot of money here. And it was more recently that I devised another strategy. And I said, okay, fine. For my hosting, the things that I spend travel, I will open an account for it. So I now open an no-pay account. I don't touch any of my other accounts. I take it off internet banking. So I'll put money, put it here. So I run my whatever I want to do from there. Then it's easier managed. So when the money gets to your set, you get to know immediately, be like, wow. So I've blew this amount of money. That is my tactics. So you have to determine based on your personality concept, determine what you think works for you. I don't, you see, the word savings, we're just using it in a semantic way. It may not necessarily be keeping cash down. Because once you have your goal and you know that I'm planning towards setting up a business October 1, like I want to launch a brand, I must just start by October 1 and I want to start saving money towards that. And you know that you can't keep the cash, join a cooperative or do direct debit. You start keeping the money there. You know you are driven by not keeping money. You're driven by a goal, something that interests and excites you that I want to do in a predetermined date. So it's much easier. But like I said, my wife, she can keep money. Cry. She knows, I'm saving it too. I'm saving it too. But you may not be like that because of your personality frame. You understand? So that's why financial goals, you know that I must buy this camera by October 1. I must start selling this by December 1. I must take advantage of the December market. But I'm planning from today. And you know the interesting thing about life is that where I am today is a product of some decisions I took years ago. Where you are today is a product of some decisions, your inactions of the years before. So where you will be tomorrow, in the next 5 years, is a product of what you will do today. So when that tomorrow comes, please don't blame anybody. It is your inaction or a decision that you took. So you must understand that life doesn't work by chances. It is, you have to be deliberate and intentional about it. Now, avoid impulse purchases and lifestyle creep. Like me, I tell people that if God, you've gotten to a point where you have abundance, you've worked so hard. In fact, you can treat yourself well by doing impulse buy. You can walk up to a store, see something you like, you can afford it. But when you've not gotten to that level, please, I plead with you, don't do impulse buy. Let nobody bring something to you to come and buy. Like, I will say that with people. Someone will just bring something. I'm selling. You don't buy. I know. My own is not worse to that level. Except maybe I just want to encourage that person. Okay, let me encourage this lady. And I will tell the person, I don't need it. In fact, I can pay for it and return the goods back. Don't do impulse buy. You set out on a Monday morning. There was no agenda for you to buy a shoe. There was no need for you to buy anything. And by Thursday, someone shows up, brought shoe to you, and you bought it. And you know you're not living in abundance. It's not as if you have a whole bowl of money that you probably just treat myself well, buy cars that I don't need, buy things that I don't need. Let me just keep it there. God help you, you have the money. And it's your fantasy. It's allowed. But when you have not gotten to that part, so why do you do it? And you know, interestingly, once you have your you can see everything interrelates. Once you have financial goal, you won't do that. You already know that you work on the island, and you know that I work so hard at work. There's even no chance for side hustle. But I'm praying, God, I want to buy a car. So when I buy that Sienna, I can stay in a Lakija, just pick people going to the island. Probably pick 10, 15,000 naira to island, and even bring them back 20,000 naira. What have you done? You have increased your earnings power. By the time you start, wow, this is 20,000. You are not paying transport again. And yes, you're making. Meaning that your monthly pay becomes yours 100%. You can actually take you 2 years to achieve that. But you know, it's always beautiful when you have a goal. And it makes sense to you, like, God, if I had this, 20,000 naira every day, my problematic transport taken care of, 5 days, 100,000 naira. A month, 400,000 naira. Wow. That business I said I want to do, I can go for that training. I can actually build that my business. I can start selling. I can talk to a pastor or bro in the church. Please, what if I raise like 2.5 million naira? Can you give me goods worth 6 million naira? He said, go and bring it first. I can talk to someone. You know, that concept, that visualization is beautiful enough. You know this where I'm going and you appreciated it. It will be difficult for somebody to bring shoe in the middle of the road and you will buy it. Are you getting my point? You know, so you won't buy it because you already have a financial goal that looks so beautiful to you. That was why he said, if you want to be saving money, be not excited. I beg. The money we they save is everything we do. You know there are ways we used to encourage ourselves to do wrong things. I beg, we can chop the one way there. And the person way they alive go, you understand? All of us will do it. Let me just. I beg, you go out sometimes. I beg, you listen to music. Well, in this life, now once. You understand it. By the time you take all those actions, affect where you will be in the next 2 or 3 years. But look at what I just described. Someone struggling, working, probably any little money, like I'm saving. When you start saving for a financial goal, what you be looking for, cooperative, who has cooperative? Like I told you, this is evidence-based. When you start, God will help you. You just find out that the information you'll be getting will be relating to where you can get cooperative done. Have you ever noticed, like, anytime you want to buy a particular car, you start seeing the cars around? The day you make up your mind that, I don't get 800,000 naira, as much to be cooperative, you realize that your discussion, your thought factor, God, the Bible says the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. He has blessed the earth, blessed everything so well that for anybody that can dream and aspire, I'm telling you from experience, you just find help. You don't need to, like what Pastor said, you don't need to stressing people, telling people this, beggy, urgent, okay. No. When you make efforts, I tell people money is not your problem. Your problem is not having the required goals, the financial goals, the drive to see that and this is where I'm going. When you get to that point, you're struggling to make that money, keep it somewhere. I'm sweating because in the next 2 years, I want to buy a Sienna. 2 years come, somebody say, bring it to cooperative, you get that money. From Sienna, you buy another thing. You buy another Sienna, you become a transporter. You'll be thinking. And it can happen to wherever you are doing. So it is. You can see the relationship between everything. Now, regularly review budget and savings, identifies areas of improvement and adjust where necessary. And acknowledge progress and stay motivated. You decided from March, I want to key into what we learned today. I want to buy a Sienna. I'll be doing direct debit. They remove GTB remove 35,000 naira straight off. Second month, you can't take it, and you see the alert after 1 year. Wow, 25,000, and you've never achieved that. You stay motivated. Just like someone who wants to reduce weight, and you started the day you jump on the scale, and you've busted 3 kg. You said, wow. You stay motivated. You get it. So review it. Where you need to change is not working, readjust it. And you find out that you get your Eldorado soon. Next slide. Now, the 50-30-20 rule of expenditure. It can be academic, but it's just a guide. Depending on, I start from why you don't save, your personality frame. You must the most important thing is that I said you believe that this country is great. I'm not a politician. I will not join them to start saying all those rubbish. That, it's a lie. You understand? You can make it. You're not disadvantaged. You can turn things around. You look at your background. I didn't inherit anything from my parents. I didn't really have someone that can really just take me from ladder 1 and put him in ladder 10. Reality of life. If you want to go in ministry, you can't compete with the children of Bishop David Oyedepo. Reality check. You've seen yourself. Then you've decided to do the right things. Start gathering little things. So, but for academic sake, for those that can work the 50-30 rule of personal expenditure, that your expenditure is categorized between needs, wants, and savings. You understand? To the next slide, please. Now, these are your needs. Utility bills. You need to pay your bills. You need to pay rent, school fees, medicals, mortgage. These are needs. You need to do it. Groceries and general upkeep. The interesting part of these needs is that, interestingly, let's say Our daddy here, he likes eating okra. I like eating okra. He likes eating okra. Do you know that our purchase cost of okra can differ from each other? He can buy his own. Maybe where my dad go buy him. You know that flesh. He dey spend 50,000 per month. Where me, I dey buy my own Yanoba or somewhere I like Yanoba where they say, cut down for me. Maybe my own bill 4,000 naira. His own bill 10,000 naira. At the end of the day, we all chop waiting okra. So you must understand that I have my own car. It has AC. It has Bluetooth. But I can't compare with some other person's cars. I dey drive. That person need that. So your needs are relative. You understand? So every day look at how you spend money. Don't be carried away by the environment, but be carried away by your personality frame. Be carried away by your reality. And the reality of where you are going. Knowing fully well that if I continue like this, my life may be like this in the next 4 or 5 years. But if I want to change the paradigm, I want to alter the ecosystem. I just want to alter it. Then you need to look at these needs. School fees. The person that attends Chrisland, Grange, and that attends maybe Agboju Primary School. Interestingly, like I said, God is a very kind God, a very beautiful God. You will see people in public school passing WAEC excellently without assistance. I'm sorry, I want to quote, there is an adage in Yoruba that says that the cow that doesn't have tail, it is God that helps him chase away flies. God knows. You understand? And you now realize that that child that went to millions, multi-millionaire school, and your son, they probably meet in the university, and they probably come out and face the reality of life. Face the reality of life. So why it is good if you have the means to give and use the best? Like me, if you tell me, I don't even know phone. My wife says, bro, I swear I don't know anything about phone. If my phone doesn't spoil, I don't buy it. And I keep all my activities. It is giving me the correct service that I'm getting. I have online meetings here. We do a review meeting every morning across different countries. I do everything with my phone. I snap picture. I do everything. You know, example like some 1 million, 1.2 million naira phone. Though it's a need, but you they use, I they use. In fact, I go to party if I need to take pictures. I don't look at your face. If I notice that, I can say, please, can I use your phone? Can you? Oh, what's the big deal now? What has he taken away from me? So when I take a snap picture, wow, lovely piece. I swear, it doesn't even bother me. 8 seconds. So I've trained my mind up to that level. So the groceries you buy, the school fees, the medicals you do. Maybe when we were talking about insurance, why should you be begging money? When there is insurance that you can do maternity, it makes sense for you to beg for money to support you on a maternity insurance than like beg for money. All these things are elitist decisions. No penny wise, pounds foolish at the end of the day. You understand? So your needs is relative. And that's the critical thing that takes our money. I think I love sharing one that I shared the last time I came. I shared the example of my mechanic. Maybe for those that were not here the last time. Maybe let's say Mr. Peter, my mechanic. I think he should be in his mid-50s. He lives in Ikorodu. Why? Because I've known him for a while. He was first living in Iketu. My office was in Maryland then. He would tell me that way, Mr. Today, when it's closing in the evening, he will have this 4-liter cake. He will buy petrol. Say, Sunday now, he's a Muslim. Sunday is on TV, on video. Dad, no, he cannot sleep without light. He has one that better pass me, but Jane. He lives. You understand? He started building house in the corridor. He started sending his children to school, University of Illinois. He's a grandfather. One of his daughters got married. And you could see the satisfaction with life in his face. He lives in his house. The house probably you cannot sit down, but it's like happy. You understand? You use your own diesel generator around the cup. He uses his own a better pass. You understand? You are watching TV. He's watching TV. You use the SCV. He's using Go TV. And he's happy and comfortable with life. You use light overnight. You also use light overnight. Now, then the other guy, a middle income earner, any 1.5 million naira, lives in a rented duplex, car loan, children high upscale. He's never happy because he's always under pressure. Look, me, I don't pray for school fees. My wife knows. I don't pray for school fees. It's not my prayer, even for if I don't. Maybe because I'm privileged from the background that I come from. I don't pay for medical bills. We were lucky privileged while growing up that my dad works in the bank, that they take care of our medical bills. So at the time they migrated to an health insurance, I got married with health insurance I did for myself, for my wife. I've not even started my company then. I put everybody because I don't want to have a dick. I don't want to put myself under undue pressure. The school fees that I pay for my daughter, for my son, it's like I can pay it. And I have people that don't make as much as I do. And my daughter, she can build up. At least I'm okay with her. I'd rather use that money to get extra class for them at home and be teaching them. So I don't want to stress myself. Anything that I can give, because children matters, you could lose everything. Get distracted. So it's important, like, I tell people it's good to don't labor for children. Don't replace God in children's life. That's don't think you want to be the one to do everything for them and enjoy yourself. When last did I call my dad? When last did you call your mom? They play. You understand? Your son or daughter will get married, spend millions. He will get married, start his own fire. He will not remember to call you. He will be filled with his own day-to-day bossing like you are doing. And when you look at it, like, you sacrifice your dream, you sacrifice everything. Like you do everything you were like, because I see colleagues, even my senior ogas, they are shrinked. Like, they make a lot of money, but I'm looking for money. Anything you want to, I want to sell the house. You say anything contrary, wait, get out. I want to send money out. Why now? It doesn't mean that the people that went to first act grammar school, it doesn't mean that your children will be greater than them. Why? You went to Echo Man now, Oga, and you are a successful man. So why do stress? And God has blessed him. So why? Why did you accumulate stress for yourself? And time will just go, 60, 65. You just realize that you drained. Because always, like me, I if you see me doing anything for parties, so I stay within my limits. I stay within my limits. And my wife knows that I would not. You complain that this bang, she cannot. I don't stay around people that complains that, no, now why now? Guys, stay within your, so I do it in your hand carry now. So it's important. So that's for the needs. For the wants, subscriptions, I think my time is out. Subscriptions, vacations, actually, latest phone, impulse shopping. You don't need it. And it has no value to you. For the savings, I think we've talked about that. Asset acquisition, business setup training, investment projects, emergency fund. The next slide. Be personally responsible for your finances. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for him, please. Let's keep clapping till he sits. Thank you so much, Mr. Afolabi Babatunde. Thank you so much. So we're just going to have a quick review of what we've learned. I hope we have been jotting down. Have we been learning? Hello, have we been learning? So I want to have just a very quick review of what he has said so far. In the Grace Foundation, like Dickens said, this program, we don't just want to give you fish. We want to teach you how to do what? How to catch the fish yourself. So I really enjoyed this session. Thank you very much, sir. He started with the financial management budgeting, and he talked about those who believe they are not the disadvantaged. Number one, you have to believe that this ground is fertile. Because if you don't believe in this ground entirely, if you don't believe that you're going to make it in Nigeria, there's a problem. So you have to believe that the ground is green, that you are here to make it. So this is where we are. Then he also said you have to be intentional with what you do. He talked about taking charge of your finance, areas of your earning, personal financial management. He said, he talked about the short and the long-term goals. You should have a short-term, you should also have long-term goals. He talked about your personality. So I hope, when he was talking about his own personality, most of us must have checked our own personality too. You know, are you the spending thrift, or you are the one that anything that comes has to be saved? It's very important we know our personalities, because that will also help us to save. It also talks about our perception. What are our values? What are perception about money? What do we value? He went about to talk about our earning powers. We can't be talking about money and you don't have any earning. You're not earning anything. Whether it's pure water, you have to be earning something. So he talked about earning, our earning power. Then a lack of financial goals. Talk about our financial goals has to be smart. It has to be specific, measurable, accurate, realistic. So let's not build castle in the air. And also time-bound. And of course, I wrote here that if you're faithful in little, you will also be given more. So quick one, he talked about developing sound earning power. And say you have to upskill. You have to find a skill you're doing. If you have a particular, learn a skill. Thank God for YouTube now. Learn a skill. He said, start a side also. This morning, Sylvia was telling me about some, opportunities. And where Sylvia, I'm calling you out now. Don't go without me. And if you also want to know about the opportunities Sylvia was talking about, just holler at me after the close of this. So he said you have to have, you have to have side also. You have to have something else you're doing. Don't just be content, because we need money to keep coming, right? We need to earn more. So you also have to have a side hustle. Then invest in service. Some of us don't like really serving. You have to serve. If you like a particular person doing a particular thing, you have to keep bothering. There's somebody in my Grace Foundation, I'm always meeting. I want to do something. I like what he's doing, so I'm always disturbing him. He knows who I'm talking about. So you have to learn to serve. Look for somebody you can attach to. And also, don't be afraid to serve, because in serving, we do learn. Then we talk about key points, set clear financial goals, create a budget, and track your expenses. There was somebody that told me one day that it'd be like, say, the person will pay me, hand not clear, because the money will just give me, I don't even know how they spend them. The guy who is not track your financial expense. You'll be surprised. You have 20,000 naira in 2 days' time. You say, I don't see him again. Track your expenses. Talked about, so I really underlined that. Track your expenses. Know what you're really using money for. Automated savings is very important. You want to save, you'll be surprised what small 500 naira a day will do for you. That's the banks just keep collecting. So you can do that to avoid impulse saving. Some of us are in this WhatsApp group, I will not call names, but avoid impulse savings and lifestyle. Sorry? Impulsive buying, thank you very much. Impulsive buying, not impulsive saving. Impulsive buying, you just like that red shoe. I like this red shoe this person is wearing. And the next thing you're buying, start saving. There's something I like doing. If I'm buying makeup, I know that I want to buy, so I'll just plan for it that I'm buying once for the year. So if you want to buy a red shoe to this year, start planning for it. And so that by the time everybody is not, you just see your WhatsApp status and they see posting, you want to be impulsively buying. So regular review your budget, very important. You're going to review your budget and savings and identify areas of improvement. Adjust where it's necessary. So even when you make mistakes sometimes, you have backslided, so to say, in your impulse spending. Still, go back and align to yourself. So it's very important to adjust. Then he also said something which is very important, is that your inaction, even things that you think you're not doing, your inactions and indecisions and inactions, they also affect your life. Then he rounded up with the 50-30 rules of personal expenditure. He talked about the needs, the wants, and the savings. And the needs, he said 50% of what you do. These are things that are really important that you do, then your wants and your saving. I hope we all jotted this down and we are learning. I hope we are all learning from what. So please, for the questions, you can write down your questions, and by the end of this, there'll be a time where they'll call for questions. Thank you very much.
Mr. Fineface Anayo Agazie is a result-oriented professional with 20-plus years in leadership, customer care, operations, investment, marketing, asset creation, management, and remediation.
Praise the Lord. You may be seated. Thank you. I'm happy to be here, and we've prayed. I wanted to pray again, but thank you for the investment. But what I'm here to present to you are those platforms, those things that will help you invest. And let me lay this foundation. Investment starts primarily from savings. That is the bedrock of every investment. And it's a cycle. Savings, investment, it comes back to savings. Even big companies, they do what we call plowing back their profits. It's the same way. So as a person, it starts from savings. And that's the bedrock of investment. Let's start with the products that will help you to save, and also these products are investment in themselves. Praise the Lord. The curriculum talks about understanding investment types, identifying low-risk investments, and we'll talk about group investment models for church members. We can't just do this thing without, recommending models that we can adopt as a church. And at the end of it, I will recommend and engage the Grace Foundation to adopt some of them. If possible, start some, because if we don't create that platform, we may lose the import of everything we've done here. Praise the Lord. Let's go to the next one. Types of investment. Like I said, first of all is shares. Shares of ownership in a company. Investors can benefit from capital appreciation. The highest, the most capitalized company in Nigeria is Dangote Cement, followed by MTN. The most capitalized bank in Nigeria is Zenith Bank. But these companies, for Dangote, the shares is less than 500 naira, one share of it. For Zenith, the share is less than 50 naira. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds ordinary. And I don't know how much a bottle of soft drink is now. A bottle of Coke is all starting small. And the Bible talks about it. Do not despise the days of little beginning. And when you overlook these things and you think, okay, some of us have this utopian idea of it will come big one day. I and you miss the opportunity, the little critical mass. We call it in banking critical mass. It starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, and there are a lot of numbers. Law of numbers. You must, in marketing, they tell us if you must convert 50 customers, there's a level of numbers of people you must talk to for you to get that 50. If you don't talk to them, it's not cast on stone anyway. But experience has shown that you must talk to this number of people for you to get 50. The same thing with the investment. The same thing with the investment. It's important that 2 drops of water that makes the mighty ocean. And it doesn't take any rocket science for you to have an account to open it, to start buying shares. It doesn't take rockets. It's even online. If you want to. If you want to. Then you start paying into those people's account. You transfer, it's not even paying to, you transfer from your account into your trading account and use your phone. The phone you use, you have bought 10 units of Dangote cement. The next month, you buy another 10 units of Dangote cement. The next month, you have, and you think these companies will fail? They can't fail. They can't fail. If they fail, the most capitalized company in Nigeria, if it fails, it means you think Nigeria will fail one day. And did God create Nigeria for it to fail? No. MTN, Zenith. Will these companies fail? No. But we are waiting for maybe 1 million before we can buy shares. We are waiting for 50 million before we can buy shares. And we are not even because what you are not doing, I need to extrapolate it. What you are not doing, you can't even teach your children. You can't teach people around you. You can't give what you don't have. Deliberately, I've started to push my children to invest. My son is so enthusiastic about it. My daughter is still dragging her feet. But I give her a chance. She's learning. But my son has entered any small 1 naira you give to him. He said, Daddy, come and put it in that my account. And every now and then I open that money market platform where his money is and shows him. And also use it to drive my daughter. You see? This is where your brother is. You need to also do this. That's what we need to start doing, please. Don't wait when it becomes a heavy rain. It is these drops of water. The Bible says when the heaven is full, it drops. It must be built intentionally and deliberately. You must start. By this time, I know I presume this will be a yearly event, if not a quarterly event. By the time we do this thing next time, you should look back and see that your shares in Dangote Cement, if you don't want, there are people that buy shares from companies that are just coming. That's a level of risk also, but the returns can be as high as anything. But if you don't want to play in that arena, you want safe, your money is safe, please buy the blue chip companies. Buy them. They can't fail. They will only grow. And sometimes they will give you dividends. They will pay you money at the end of the day. They give you shares on top of what you have. We must do that. Most banks are now going to the capital market to recapitalize. This is an opportunity because they will depress their prices a bit so that they can attract people for investment. Leverage on the opportunity. Buy into those banks. They will never fail. There's a scramble now. Banks are making trillions, declaring trillions of naira every year. It's now a race for a trillion naira profit. And most banks are going that way. So if a bank that declares a trillion naira consecutively for 2 years, 3 years, as profit is not their money. It's the profit they have made from. So please, let's go to the next one, bonds. Bonds are debt security. These are, it's just like government borrowing from you. When government wants to execute some projects and they don't have enough money, they ask you to please buy these bonds, buy these treasury bills at a particular price, and you get the markup. Sometimes they pay you the interest up front. So you are investing 1 million naira, they pay you the interest of 1 million naira for that period of time up front. If you want to reinvest the interest, you can reinvest. If you also want to use it for something else, at the maturity, you get back your money. This is one of the safest investments, but it's a low-risk investment. So I will recommend, if you are starting, start small and start with low-risk investments. Over time, you will grow the appetite. You will now know the difference and the technicalities of investing in high-risk investments. But you must start small so that your capital does not evaporate in one day. Mutual funds is investment vehicles that pull money from several people. Just in a multitude of counselors, there's safety. That's what the Bible said. Mutual funds pull money and invest in shares, bonds. Is a mixture of buckets that cannot fail. So talk to your advisor. Even if you can't talk to anybody, you can talk to me. I can help you so that you can start. It's not rocket science. People that made money started this way. If you want to know how people made their money, go back to the biography of things that people have written about themselves, the millionaires. Frugality, intentionality, focus, tenacity. Even when it is not okay, they continue investing. The next one is exchange traded funds. Exchange traded funds is also like a pool of stocks and assets together. Then you trade it on the floor of the Nigerian exchange. We have NGX ETF. We have Stanbic IBTC ETF. So they can be, some of them, their name shows how many companies that are in together. You can say Stanbic ETF 30. That's I remember that's the name. Stanbic IBTC ETF 30. It means in that bucket there are 30 companies, different. Dangote Cement can be there, Zenith Bank can be there, Presco can be there, oil company can be there. Their shares are pulled in together and traded as one entity on the floor of the Nigerian exchange. So if you're afraid of failure, if you're afraid that, these shares that I picked, the company might tomorrow not do well, go to ETF. Go to mutual funds. Those funds are foolproof. They will never fail. Real estate, investing in physical properties, it's important that you deliberately invest in real estate. Even if it's a land that is in your village. I must say that. Land never depreciates. Never. Even if the land, they call you from your village that there's a land, your neighbor in the village, he wants to sell the land. If you have money, buy it. Don't say it's in the village. Don't say that. Then if you're in town and you don't have the money to buy it, why don't you put funds together with someone and get, even if it's a hard plot. There's what we call land banking currently. Land banking, I hope you have heard about it. Don't jump into it except you do your due diligence. It's a veritable vehicle for investment, but you must sit back and do your due diligence. And what I mean by due diligence is for you to find out the people behind it, their track records, what they do. You can even engage a lawyer so that they can do land search, chatting and whatever to know whether you are buying into the right purpose. Praise the Lord. Commodities, wow, these commodities, I must say this, I must share this testimony. I was in Kano, I think last month or 2 months on official duty for 1 week. Then we are talking I was talking with one of my colleagues in Kano, and he told me that last year, that's 2003, that they bought into pepper, pepper, dried pepper, bags of dried pepper. And at that point, the total cost for each of the bag came to between 45,000 and 50,000. And they stored it. There are warehouses you pay and store it. In 6-8 months' time, the same bag of pepper skyrocketed from that 50,000 to 220,000 per bag. Do your mathematics. 50,000, let's even say 60,000. Let me exaggerate the price now. 60,000 and 220,000. It was an eye-opener. It was an eye-opener. So, commodities. You may say, these are people in Kano. In your village, what is that commodity that comes at a point, there's a glut of it? In some of your villages, it's palm oil. In some of your villages, it can be beans. In some of your villages, it can be anything. It can be honey. The person I'm staying, the lady in my house, our maid, I don't know the right word to use. In their place, around March, January, between January and March, there's this glut of honey in the north. If you buy it at that point, pure honey, if you buy it at that point and brings it here, in 6 months' time, there will be scarcity. There are principles in the Bible that you think is just a story. No, it's not a story. There are principles. The principle of 7 years of plenty and 7 years, it is on. It just is not, you're not noticing it. There's a time for mangoes. There's a time from there. That's why government is pushing for preservation, processing, so that we can process those things, and when there's scarcity, we can begin to use them. Is in your village, is it palm oil that maybe is everywhere in between January and March? What is it? Why don't you start small? Start with maybe 100,000, 200,000. Tell somebody to buy those things for you and keep it. Then when the scarcity comes, the cycle comes, tell the same person to sell it, to sell those things. Check the margin. That margin will give you the incentive whether to scale and to what extent should you scale. These are practical things. But we overlook, we are waiting for one big money. Start with 20,000. Start with 50,000. Some of you have your moms in the village, your dad in the village. Your dad cannot cheat you, your mom can cheat you. Start with them. Tell them to buy, make that inquiry. And some of us grew from the village. I grew from the village. I know these things. I know the cycles. Start. Don't procrastinate. The next one is options and derivatives for banks, and I wouldn't want to go that. It's too technical because it's not, we are talking to people here that are, what you can apply is for hedging. Futures, derivatives, options. It's not for you really. It's here, but I wanted to delete it, but it is not for this class. Is an asset whose value is based on the underlying asset. So someone can say now, there are derivatives. These derivatives, based on that derivative, somebody can say there are futures in it, there are options in it. When it comes to derivatives, derivatives means, no, under derivatives you have options and futures. Futures means someone can say, this dollar that you have now, I will buy it in 6 months at 1,800 naira. It's locked. So when it gets to that 6 months, whether it's 1,000, whether it's 2,000 naira, whether it's 1,700, whether it's 1,600, he's bound by the contract to buy it at that point, at that price. So banks and financial institutions use it to hedge fluctuation, prevent or mitigate fluctuation. So, but options are also opportunity for someone to buy something at a particular price, but it's not obligatory. It's not obligatory. When it gets to that point, the person can decide not to buy, or he says he will buy. So most companies use futures because it's contract-based and it's binding on all parties. It's not really for... Then cryptocurrencies. This is dicey, but what I will advise you here is don't go into cryptocurrency with your own money now. There are opportunities for you to mine it. Do you know what is to mine it? There are apps in your phone. Most of you, if you interface with people, you will know that this phone you have and the data you have, you can use it to make money. It's not to just go on Facebook. There are apps that gives you opportunities to mine cryptocurrencies, especially the ones they are about to launch. Every now and then, cryptocurrencies based on blockchain, people are trying to roll out products. And before they roll out products, the essence of pushing it out is for people to adopt it. So they will want you to be part of people that are adopting it very early. And they will give you some tax. They can say, answer this question every morning and every evening. They can say, click on this thing every 5 hours. When you click on it, you have 1 unit of it. Every time you click on it, you have 1 unit of it. That's pre-launch program. At that point, it's free. Then when they, maybe in 6 months' time or in a year's time, because it's also always a time period for it, there's a timeline. After 6 months, when they now launch it, they can launch it at, let's say, $0.02. Already you have 250,000 units of it. Because they will be the one to determine the price at the launch. The market forces will start to play on it. From $0.02, it can come down to $0.01 or less. Or even go from that $0.02 that they launch it to $1 per unit. It's market forces that will determine this price. You that he has keyed into this process, you didn't buy it with money. You just use your data and your phone to get it. Transfer it to your wallet, and at that point, you are at liberty to sell it. Let's say something you got free, and at that point is $0.05, and you have 1,000 units of it. Multiply it. It's $500. Is it not? I hope my maths are okay. Yeah. $500 by multiplied by 1,008. The price of the dollar outside there. What is it? And these are just hypothetical figures. These are hypothetical figures. Start these things. They are not rocket science. Making money is not very difficult again. If you know and you know what to do and you're intentional about it. Savings account. We talked about the savings account. This is the bedrock of every saving, every investment. You must save. You must automate your savings. He talked about temperaments. He talked about your personality. But even the hustle and bustle of what we go through these days, a whole lot of things seeking your attention, it's important that you automate your savings. There are platforms for that. You link an account to it every month. Immediately your salary lands, it takes that money and saves. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, say you don't save after you have spent. You save first and spend the remaining. That is the intentionality, that is the discipline, that is the tenacity, that's the focus that you need. If you don't do that, emotions can come in, distractions can come in, and competing desires will come in. We're in a world, we are in part of the world where extended families have a stake on our lives. We can't run away from that. People can call you, and the stories will be true or might be true. But if at the point of that money landing in your account, it has been moved, your savings have been moved, you pay your tithe, you do every other thing, and what is remaining, you give what you can have, what you have at that point. You will not have any guilty conscience. You have done your bit based on available resources, but you must save first. You must. Everything we are saying here, whether it's we want to grow financially, whether we want to, because there are evil days. There are days of evil. There are days of pressing needs. It must come. The Bible says a man born of a woman has a few days, and his days are full of troubles. And these troubles can be good, these troubles can be bad. When those troubles come, what will you do? If you don't do what you're supposed to do, the guilty conscience of not doing what you are supposed to do will continue to gnaw at your heart. But you must have the capacity to do what you have to do. This is a personal testimony, and I think some of you are aware of it. My wife was sick for how many years? Close to 5 years, or more than 5 years. And in that process of not feeling fine, I did not, for one day, think about taking care of her from the angle of restraining finances, or maybe at the point of any treatment, I don't have the money. I borrowed though. I also, because there are things around me that I could touch or change the money. If I had the opportunity to get more to save her, or be the worst man, or be a peasant so that she can live, I would have done that. I would have taken that option. I'm using my own as an example to tell you that no matter where you are, no matter the level you are, things like that can come. One of the things that give me hope on the comfort, yeah, that's the right word, comfort sometimes, is when I remember that when it comes to spirituality, prayers, everything, I did the best for my wife. And when it comes to money, what money can buy, medicine that money can afford, I did my best for her. And if it was necessary to do more, I would have done more. Don't allow things like that to, go past you, and you will look back, and even the devil will come back and tell you, if you have taken this woman to this hospital, she might have lived. So the basic thing is that you must make intentional effort to have these things, to invest, to have things you can fall back on, to have things you can draw from as strength to help in time of need, because those needs will come. Like I said, full of challenges. It might be good challenge, it might be bad challenge. Good challenge, even if you want to do Birthday for your daughter now. My daughter has been talking about her 16th birthday. Every now and then. It's a good challenge. When it gets to that point, will I say I will not do it? I want to do it. I started planning for it. I've talked about the negative challenge, the one that is not unpleasant. I also did it well. I did best, to the best of my ability and what God has given me. Don't be in regret because you did not lay the foundation well. Praise the Lord. Certificates of deposit, that's fixed deposit that you normally go around. It's important also that when you put money in savings account, they graduate, you put them to fixed deposit. From fixed deposit, you take them to investment. You must do that. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. If you break one, you will grow at a level you will not like. Money is not meant to be kept in savings account forever. No. No. It must transit from savings account to investment, and sometimes investment don't pay. That's why I'm talking about the low risk one that will always pay. Then when you grow strength, you can now begin to talk about high risk investments. Retirement accounts, there's currently, for those of us that are working, there's retirement savings account. Even if you're not working, there's voluntary retirement savings. You can engage those companies. They open the account for you. You start saving for your retirement. Retirement age in Nigeria is what? Is it not 65? So, if you're nearer to 65 and you don't have a retirement savings, today is for you to start. Don't say, is it for people that work? I don't work. No. Even if your company doesn't offer that opportunity, start it. Get it done. Praise the Lord. The next one, let's go to the next slide, please. Low risk investments. These are low risk. I've talked about most of them. But what I want to talk about here is money market funds. I've talked about money market funds. It's important that we know that money as it is, the money you have in your account is an investment instrument. Beyond savings, money market platforms offer you more. And it's on, if you open my phone here, you will have, how many of them now? 1, 2, 3. 1 for my son, maybe 2 for me. They offer higher percentage. And it's not hard. It's just for you to click a button. It takes money from your account and take it to that place. As I speak now, money market is offering up to 20-21% per annum on money that is there. And they're not saying it must be 100,000. You know, when it comes to savings, fixed deposit, most banks have a threshold. You can't say, I want to fix 100,000. No, nobody will listen to you. But in that money market platform, you can 100,000, 50,000, 70,000, and you continue to grow it deliberately. You can also automate it so that every month the platform goes to your account, takes it, and take it there. Let me go rush. I've talked about these ones in one way or the other. Treasury securities. Treasury securities also like lending to the government. On the government, and it can be for projects. It's also a way to control inflation. If they want to contract the economy, they want to reduce or control the amount of liquidity in the system. They can use treasury bills. They open it up, give you attractive rates, then you buy into it, they trap the money. And while trapping the money, they are reducing your spending power. And what is inflation? Inflation is more money chasing fewer goods. So it's a contraction. They can use it for contractionary effect. So it's either they're using it for projects, whatever it is. What we are saying here is you leverage on it and make money. because you're lending to the federal government of Nigeria that cannot fail, except heaven and earth passes away. And when heaven and earth passes away, everybody goes. Nobody, you now go to heaven and meet here. What? so it's important that while you are here, leverage on these platforms. He has said something here that the decisions, the life you are seeing now, what you are enjoying now, or what you are, and I'm not going to use suffering. Nobody is suffering here. Whatever you are enjoying, or whatever level of privilege or enjoyment you have now, is a product of the decisions you made 3, 4, 5 years ago. In terms of relationship, in terms of the books you read, in terms of the knowledge you put to yourself, in terms of the investment you made, in terms of the prayers you made, in terms of everything. The conglomeration of all those things is what is playing out now. And if what you are seeing now is not what you want, this is time for you to begin to tweak them. Tweak, begin to change. As I'm talking to you, you know where to touch. You know what to do. As he has talked to us, you know what to do. You know what to tweak. While he was talking, this is the second time I'm hearing from him. I know what to do. I know what to tweak. Don't come here and move away. Execution is the best strategy. If you are not executing anything, then we are just talking. You are just talking. And just talking can't make any impact. If we go now, as you are going, please begin to implement these things. Let's go to the slide. Okay, key features of low-risk investment. Capital preservation. You can never go wrong with that. It's impossible for you to lose your capital when you're on low-risk investment. It's virtually impossible. Steady income. The income will be steady. It might not be high up there, but it will be steady. It will be steady. Low volatility, market fluctuations rarely affect those platforms or those investments. Liquidity, you have access to it. When you want it, you go to it. Liquidity. Then credit quality. Sometimes I work in a bank. So most times when banks want to give you anything in terms of loan, support for your business, apart from your character, and I know everyone's character here is okay, the major factor again that determines what we give to you, or if we give to you, is your cash flow. If you say we should give you 10 million naira, have you handled 10 million naira before? Your account statement and your investment and things you have should tell us that this 10 million naira this guy is asking, he has handled 30 million before. If those things are not there, no bank will stick out their neck for you. They won't. You must show. And you must deliberately also pass, if you are in business, you must deliberately also, I need to say this, you must deliberately also pass your inflows through your accounts so that when you need this support, there will be evidence to show that you have handled it before. Some of you, when money comes to you, immediately it comes to you, like cash, take cash like that. You go and pay the person that is that supplied you something, cash. There's no trail, there's no evidence that you have handled it before. So when bank says, can we see whether you have done this before? You say, yes. Even the man I paid the other day, I paid him 50 million. They say, where is it? How did you pay him? I said, I gave him cash. Cash care. They want to see it. There must be a trail. And that trail is what justifies that you have handled such money before. Please pass these things, even if it's a savings account. You may say you don't want AMF charges. Begin to pass your payments and your transactions, especially those of you small scale industries or whatever, SMEs, please pass it deliberately, pass it through your accounts. So that when you present it, even when you go to embassies, Those are the things they also want to see. You say you are sponsoring your child to study abroad, and they can't see any trace of such money in your account. Meanwhile, you are controlling billions. You've been controlling billions. Evidence. He says something about figures. Figures speak, and they speak loudly. Praise the Lord. Let's go to the next slide. I'll talk about the group investment models, and this is where I will challenge the Grace Foundation to adopt one. Investment clubs, whereby a group of individuals who meet regularly. When we meet in church regularly. So there should be investment clubs. But it must be on a risk-based analysis. If you want to start investment club, you must take the risk aspect of it. De-risk it. How do you de-risk it? Who are the people that should be part of it? Pre-qualify people based on character, based on consistency, based on cash flow, based on reliability. A whole lot of things that you can use to de-risk it, so that somebody will not enter the investment club and be the bad egg or the Judas Iscariot among the 12. You must de-risk it. That's why banks, when they are opening an account, every account you are opening in a bank, at the point of opening, you may think it's a savings account. They are looking at it from the risk. This account we are opening, even though it's a savings account, this guy can commit fraud tomorrow. That's why they ask you all those things. They approach it from the risk-based point, because this is the risk. So investment clubs, the same way, if we want to start it, we must start it from the risk angle that, this brother can, tomorrow, he can jackpot, and if he jackpots, who will take care of this? You also define the exit principles, buy-over principles. If he wants to go and exit, who takes over and how? What's the process of takeover? Real estate syndication, I've talked about it before. You can't buy a property yourself. You have reliable people. You can pull funds together and buy the place. You must get a good lawyer that will draft. That's the same aspect of risk-based approach. Don't just enter into things because he's a brother in church. I know him. I know people can change. People can change. People can change based on circumstances, based on pressure, based on exposure to new things. I remember when I wanted to, somebody called me, my sister called me. She works in Futo. That was 6 years ago. She called me in Futo that there's this land near the my alma mater. I schooled from Futo. That land is near the school, and it will be good for me to develop a hostel there, students, blah, blah, blah. She called the price. And the price was good. I said, okay, send me your account number. I want to send the money now so that you can say the people are willing, they are co-staff, people that work in that place that I wanted to send the money. It was my wife. It was my wife that just said, honey, you need to engage a lawyer on this. Just that word. You need to engage a lawyer on this. And some of you, your wife will be telling you good things. You don't take things. I don't know why I'm going there anyway. Your wife will give you advice, you wave it away. Your husband will bring something to the table, you wave it away. You know everything. The Bible says, in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. There is safety. In the bank, we have development managers, branch managers. They are risk people, risk power, open account, create risk asset. But we have operations people. Operations people will say, this thing you are bringing, this KYC, this document is not okay. This man can commit fraud tomorrow. This thing. From our own angle, we see that sometimes we even quarrel with them. You are drawing business, but that balance is necessary. So when your wife, your sister, your brother brings something to the table concerning investment, listen. If you are not sure, pray about it. My wife will always know, if I tell her that time, if she doesn't know, she'll tell me, honey, just keep it, I will pray about it. And I'll wait for her. She comes back. Let's do it. Long and short story, immediately we involved a lawyer. I paid a lawyer from here. Immediately we involved a lawyer. The lawyer said, don't go there. The land is about to be acquired by the Imo State government. That's why those people are selling it off at that price. That's how he saved me that. So when it comes to syndication, please be sure you are doing the right thing. Be sure you are risk sensitive. Be sure you are de-risking it from beginning. Be sure you are doing your due diligence. It's important. Then cooperatives, the same model. And that's what I want us. We have the Grace Foundation now. We can have the Grace Cooperative. And that cooperative, for people of like minds, people that have the same goal. And one thing about cooperative is that you operate at your level. And when you want to exit, you exit at your level. It's good. We must do that. Even if it has to do with women cooperative, men cooperative, you do it that way. So that when someone says, I'm in a cooperative, I want the cooperative to lend me 50,000. That's how they do it in my place, my workplace. We have a cooperative. If I want 1 million naira from the cooperative, and my contribution is up to 1 million, that's cash backed. So they tie the money I have contributed as security to the money they are giving me and mark it up a bit so that the cooperative can make some money. But very low compared to if you are borrowing from contemporary banks or contemporary channels. Then if you don't have up to that money, that volume in the, maybe you have contributed up to 100,000 and you need 500,000. What the cooperative will ask for, is there anybody that can guarantee you that is in this cooperative that has that kind of money? Go and get a guarantor that is also here. That person will sign. In case Brana Ayo defaults on this 100,000, please take the 500,000 that I have. It's easy. It's easy. At no point will the cooperative lose money because already it's backed by either an indemnity by another one or the cash from the contributor. Private equity funds, these investment gather capital, this for people that come together to fund maybe startups. Private equity funds gather capital from investors to acquire equity in private companies, often with the goal of restructuring those companies to increase their value before selling. Private equity, crowdfunding platforms. Crowdfunding platforms has to do with, most times it's online, but where this finds most expression is in the States, abroad. That's where they do that here, but mostly we touch ourselves here. So it might not, crowdfunding might not be the best. Venture capital partnerships. This is for venture capital. Okay, I talked about private equity as if it's a venture. Venture capital is for startups. A lot of people do it. There are players, football players that went into venture capital partnerships, whereby there's this, I hope he played for Arsenal before, Flamini. You remember him? Yes. While he was playing, he invested in one company that into biofuels or something. Today he's a billionaire because that company flourished and is doing very well. He has retired from football, but because he ventured into that, there are viable projects that people can bring to you as ideas. Yes. They bring it to you as ideas. What you need to do, sit back, check the expertise of the person bringing it. Can he manage such things? Can he do it? Does he have the track record of such things? Let's say someone like, Sister Gogo. She talks to me about event management. I've seen her. Even though she's not into event management, I know she will do well. I know. She brings the proposal. the cash layout, everything, and says, this is what we do, this is what we do, this is what we do, this is where the income will come from. Even if I'm not convinced, I can give it to another person to study. My time is up, but let me round up a bit. Let's go to the last hedge funds, okay? These ones are mutual funds, okay? I hope we have opportunity to send this slide to people. Go to the last slide, please. No, there was a slide that should be here. Just better, but I have it on my phone. There's a slide to be here. There's another. Okay, maybe it's working together. Everything is working together so that I can close. But let me summarize what is there. What is there are nuggets, statements about savings, statements about investment. Timeless statements. One that is there is about Warren Buffett telling you that you save first before you do anything. Then also, another thing is avoid inferiority complex. Avoid complex. Complex, whether it's inferiority, whether it's superiority complex, because there are two ends of it. Those things are costly. And it will infringe on your ability to either save and or invest. It will affect your psyche. It will affect your focus. You'll be trying, you have money, but because you have inferiority complex, you want to impress people. You want to wear clothes so that you belong. Then if you are superiority complex, you also want to maintain the status quo by buying things that will keep you at the level you are. Perception. Those things are costly. Bible says contentment with godliness is great gain. You must be contented at whatever place you are. It's important. It's important. You must have that mindset that you are not running the race, you are not competing with anyone. You are not. I'll tell you one story. I go to the island every day. Before now, yes. But now 3 times a week. My wife was here then, and one day we were talking. I said, honey, this island that I go every day, I can also invest in it. What I had then was Hyundai Elantra. He said, yes. What we can do is, why don't you get a bus or a car that can take more people so that while you are going to work, you can carry people. And while you are coming back, you can carry people and make, even if it's the money for the fueling. And that's why it pains me deeply up to today. It's not part of this lecture, but I'm deeply pained, and that wound is in my heart constantly when I don't hear my wife's voice, because she's this woman that can give you insight. So my car, the Elantra was there then. I now bought Sienna. Do you know, up to today, when I go to work, if I'm going to work, I pick people to work. When I'm coming back, I bring people back. Even though they don't, because of the current increase in the fuel, it doesn't pay fully what it is, but it subsidizes it to a large, up to 70-75%. So whatever you are doing now, he has said it before, whatever you are doing now, you can see side hustles to it. You can see things you can add to it. You can see it. Fish farming, you are in fish farming. You can look at it from the angle of just selling the live one to getting the processing machine so that you can begin to dry it and even talk about export. It's exported. I hope you know it can be exported. So these are things you begin to look at. But it must be deliberate. My time is up. You must be deliberate about these things. Otherwise, we'll come here, listen, and go. By next year, where we are. And he says something. Deacon says something. Someone helps you today, he wants you to stand on your feet next time. Even if he's going to pay the school fees for you the next time. Let it be that, the money is 50,000, but now I have 25,000. Can you supplement the remaining 25,000? The next year you can say, it's now 75,000. I have 70. Can you give me 5? Then the other year, you're on your own. You're paying. Don't be perpetually at the same level. Don't. And the power is in your hand. Tell your neighbor the power is in your hand. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you. Clap for him, please. Please clap for him. Please appreciate him. Thank you, Mr. Anayo. Quick one. Everything he has just said can be encapsulated in Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 1 to 6. He said, cast thy bread upon the water, for after many days you shall find them. And we have to be intentional about our investment. And Ecclesiastes says something to us. He said, he that observeth the wind will not sow, and he that regardeth the cloud shall not reap. And I want each and every one of us to make this commitment to ourselves concerning investment this morning. He said something. Tell yourself, in the morning, I will sow my seed. In the evening, I will not withhold my hands. Say it convincingly. In the morning, I will sow my seeds. In the evening, I will not withhold my hands. And I say thank you very much for your time. And I want you all to write notes, take notes, prepare your questions. We'll be having our question and answer section very, very soon. Thank you very much.
Lillian Cyril O'Halley is a fintech credit enthusiast, a professional credit analyst with deep knowledge and expertise in both the financial technology, fintech sector, lending, and credit risk management. She specializes in leveraging technology to improve sales administration, support, credit assessment, and lending strategies. With well over 7 years experience in the fintech sector, she has been able to prefer fintech credit solutions, simplify loan application processes, comply with industry regulations, and best practices. She's a consumer finance expert with outstanding track records of meeting and surpassing set targets and goals while working in organizations with world-class standards to create innovative products and services that are more affordable and sustainable for consumers and businesses alike. Ladies and gentlemen, let us make welcome as we receive Lillian Cyril O'Halley. Lillian Cyril O'Halley is a fintech.
Praise God. So when I was told to do this, I said, loans, it's very, very sensitive. I don't want to be in that space where I'll be encouraging people to go for loans, right? But I also want to be in that space where I can advise you on the type of loans you can take. Now, some people see loans as a bad thing. I know if I ask someone here now, have you taken loan before? You can say no, God forbid. In fact, there's one woman that said, I'll never take loan in my life till I die. And she said, so that I can sleep peacefully, I don't want someone, when I'll be sleeping, I'll just remember I'm owing one bank. Hey, tomorrow they might come after me. But the truth is, sometimes we need loans. In as much as we've learned about financial strategies, budgeting, and investments. There was something Brother Nayo said. He said, when his wife was ill, he did everything in his possible best to ensure that he makes the things that are supposed to be available for her, even if it meant him going to borrow from people. Right now, this doesn't mean he's not a good planner, or it doesn't mean he did not keep money. But nobody keeps money for one big sickness, right? Nobody says, tomorrow my husband might get this sickness, so let me just keep this money. There's some things that just comes up, So sometimes we don't make plans for these things and they just happen. Let's start with what loan is. In a layman's understanding, a loan is a financial agreement between a lender. A lender can be a bank, it can be a cooperative, it can be an individual giving a borrower money, rather. And then you can have maybe a duration for the loan. Now, when you apply for a loan in banks, they will run down the repayment durations for you. They can tell you, okay, this is what you can access for 6 months, this is what you can access for 1 year, this is what you can access for 2 years. So, for every loan, it is time-bound. Now, there are types of loans, right? We have, please, next slide. Okay, let's go into the loan terms. Principal. Principal is the amount that we're giving you, the loan amount you're applying for, right? You want 2 million naira, you want 1 million naira. That amount we're giving you is called the principal. And then interest, a charge for the privilege of borrowing. That's the interest that comes with the loan we are giving you. The interest that comes with the loan, whoever is giving you the loan, the company, the individual. Some persons will give you loans without interest, right? Maybe a family member, Grace Foundation. I don't think we charge them for interest, right? Good. So, repayment period, like I said, for every loan that is being accessed, it is time-bound. It has duration, right? And then, what I'm also going to talk to us about is managing these durations so that you don't get choked. Now, this repayment period can last for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, depends on the agreement you have with the bank or the individual giving you this cash. And then collaterals. Collaterals are the things you put in place. No, some loans are not secured, right? For the loans we apply for personal needs, those loans are not secured, so they don't necessarily ask you to bring anything to tie down your loan, so that when you don't meet up your repayments, they will come and take it from you. So, but collateral is that thing that you put as like a binding between you and the lender. It can be a car, it can be a house. So whatever it is, collateral is what you put in place to ensure that when you pay this loan, you can retrieve whatever it is that you've already put down for them. And then the terms and conditions. For every loan, there are terms to it. Now, if it's an individual, the person can tell you, okay, brother, let's say Dickin gives you 20,000 naira. And then he says, this 20,000 naira, please, on or before March, I need it back. I need to use it. So please, I'm not asking you for interest, but on or before March ending, you should provide this money back. For a company, they don't need to beg you. It's a terms and condition that you have to sign before they disburse to you. So for every loan that you get to access, there are terms and conditions that you would have to agree to before the loan is being granted to you. Please, next slide. So let's go to types of loans. We have personal loans, we have business loans, we have auto loans, and we have mortgages. Personal loans. Personal loans are loans that we borrow for various financial needs. Okay. Mr. Babatunde identified some of the things that we should classify as needs. Now, school fees is a need. Groceries are needs. there was one other thing he stated, I can't remember. But there are some things that you cannot do without. These are basic needs that must be made available for you to function as a human being. Now, these loans that you take, right, to fulfill these needs or to be able to meet up with these needs,